Hey guys, this is Christy. In this video I am sharing with you my 32-week update for my pregnancy. Actually I am almost 33 weeks in a couple days, but this will be everything I've been feeling and going through from the end of week 29 up until now, week 32. So a lot has been going on. We've been doing a lot of shopping, which is good, prepping. I can't say that I'm in that like nesting stage yet, but I'm starting to get anxious that there's still so much to do because we're in single digits now. Typically you give birth around week 40. Obviously there are extreme cases where it's sooner, or then if it's later, it's much later, they're going to induce you. But like less than 8 weeks to go pretty much, which is crazy to think. Oh my goodness, so much still to do. So right now, according to my app that I follow, the baby is about as long as a piece of kale, which is very arbitrary, but they say about 17 inches or about, I think, 42 centimeters that is, which is pretty long considering it's all smushed up in my belly. And then for weight right now, about 3.75 pounds, which is pretty cool too. In some of my pregnancy Facebook groups, someone gave birth to twins when they were 27 weeks only. So right now they're in the NICU, but I couldn't even imagine, like, I would not be prepared at all. Even now I would not be. So it's kind of hitting home that, you know, if something were to go wrong, I may have to be induced anytime now, and you know, the baby is viable. It would most likely survive. Thankfully, it's not like I'm 20 weeks or something. So we got to get our crap together to get the prep for this baby. So I'll go into everything that I've bought so far at the end, or kind of in the middle. But first I wanted to share with you kind of symptoms and things I've been feeling the past 3 weeks. So the biggest thing is back pain. My back has been hurting so much for about the past 2 weeks. It's like an upper back pain. Sometimes it's on the left side more often, well, sometimes on the right side. More often now it's on the left, sometimes both. And it's just all day, all night. I put up with it during the day. I've started taking a Tylenol right before I teach because I'm sitting in this chair, which probably also doesn't help, for about 3 to 4 hours. But at night, it's just terrible. I tried, like, no, because I don't really want to have to rely on Tylenol. The more I take it, the more my body will, I guess, become used to it, and then it's not going to be as effective. However, I did talk to the doctor, and she said, you know, try heating pads, which I have. She said you could try massage, which I did. It helps for like 5 minutes after I make and massage my back, and then it just starts hurting again. So she said Tylenol you're allowed to take up to 4 grams a day, so that would be like 8 500 milligram tablets. I'm nowhere near. I try to only take it at night and the one time during the day, so I'm at about, I take 3 of them. But yeah, I take it right before I go to bed, and then I wake up multiple times at night because I have to go to the bathroom, which I'm fine with. But it used to be I would wake up, go to the bathroom, I'd fall back asleep probably within like 5-10 minutes, like really quickly. So now my back is just so uncomfortable. So I'm tossing and turning, and it takes me about, I'd say, half an hour to get back to sleep again. So now I've started then taking an extra Tylenol at like 3 a.m. Because I do want to space it out every 4 hours. But still, like, I have a Fitbit, and it keeps track more or less of your sleep patterns and sleep habit and how long you sleep for. So I get, from by the time I go to bed, from when I wake up in the morning, it's which I should be super well rested, but it's about 9 to 10 hours of like time I spend in bed a day. However, it keeps track of when you're awake and when you're not sleeping, so I only actually get about 6 to 7 hours of sleep a day, or a night, I guess, which is still fine. I mean, I can survive on 6 to 7 hours, but it's just annoying when I spend like 10 hours in bed and I'm only sleeping for 6 of those. Like, it's just so much tossing and turning. And then you're not supposed to lie on your back, so I kind of like half back, like, but propped up, but that still doesn't help, and then I'm just one side to the next side. Right now, lying on my, since I'm hurting on my left side, my left shoulder blade, lying on my left side actually seems to be better. So that kind of is a good thing, whereas my right is just excruciating pain. And then a new thing that's happened that I'm going to talk to my doctor about when I see her on Tuesday The past 3 days, my back is numb. Like my upper back is numb, which is strange. Like I don't know. It's not. I can feel like it's not like if you have your like a tooth pulled out and your mouth is frozen, you can't like feel anything. I can, but I don't have much of a sensation. Like if I get Dan to like run his fingernails down my back, at the top of my back, it just feels like someone's just touching me, whereas then he gets down to the bottom and then I can actually feel, oh, okay, it's a little sharp. But yeah, the top, I don't have any much sensation. So that's a little weird. So I'm gonna bring that up first. Hopefully that's normal. When I talked about the back pain with the doctor, she's like, you know, yeah, that's just your body changing, your center of gravity is changing, everything's kind of getting bigger. My chest has definitely gotten bigger. I went up 2 to 3 bra sizes, or like cup sizes, which is different. So I switched bras, hoping that that would help, but it doesn't really seem to help. So I don't know. I think it also doesn't help that, yeah, I'm in this chair. I did buy a, you gotta sit down if you want to be here. I did buy like a gel pillow to sit on, like a butt pillow, hoping that that would help. It kind of does, but I don't know. I did find that now when I walk the dogs, if I walk with my hands like this, that helps actually. It relieves my back a little bit, as opposed to when the dogs pull and then they're like, my arms are forward. So now dogs, I probably look silly, but at this point I don't really care. Everyone can see my big belly bump if they're driving by, so they're just gonna be like, oh, look at that pregnant lady walking her dogs, not like, why is her hands like that? What a weirdo. So that's okay. Another thing that has happened, and if you watch my What A Wednesday videos, I kind of addressed it. I had a fever. So I had a fever and like was so achiness and just like physically exhausted. Like my body was just so drained. So that went on for 2 full days, 2 nights, 2 full days. And then I did get tested for COVID, and thankfully that came back negative. But my doctor said, you know, just in case it was a false negative, stay home for 2 more weeks from when you last showed your symptoms. You know, don't go to work, don't go to the house, quarantine from your husband as much as you can. And if you start to get those symptoms again, let me know right away and I'm gonna send you for another test. So thankfully I didn't anymore. So I was, yeah, I don't know what it was. Hopefully it wasn't, well, I don't know. Hopefully it wasn't COVID. But again, I wasn't having any like difficulty breathing or loss of smell or anything like that. So it was just some kind of fever. I don't know. But for those 2 days, I felt like I was dying, not from COVID, just in general. So then I got over that, and then I noticed a rash on my stomach. And it was, well, actually first I noticed that my back, my lower back and like my hips were really itchy. And then my stomach was itchy. And then I looked at my stomach and there was a big rash. And so I Googled it and found out what it was. But then when I had a teleconference or like a video appointment with my doctor because again, I had been sick, so I wasn't allowed to go in. And I mentioned it to her, I showed a picture of it on my phone when it was at its worst. And then she said, okay, well, it looks like it could be PUPPPs rash, which, I mean, I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right. Pruritic urticarial papules and plaques of pregnancy, which is a rash that appears in the stretch marks on your stomach, and it can spread to like your back, your hips, and in bad cases like your arms and things. So the doctor asked, she's like, oh, okay, are you having stretch marks and you're noticing it stretch marks? And I'm like, I don't know, I haven't noticed stretch marks. And she's like, okay, let me look at your belly. So I showed my belly to the camera and she's like, oh, okay, yeah, no, I see the rash. She's like, oh yeah, I see those stretch marks. And I was like, what? I have stretch marks? So that was, apparently I do. However, so then she prescribed me a cream, which I've been hearing a lot where they're like, when you're pregnant, you shouldn't take hydrocortisone creams. But I don't know, she prescribed one for me and got the pharmacy deliver it to my house because again, I wasn't allowed to leave the house, I was in quarantine. So it's a 2% hydrocortisone cream in what says an LB base, which I don't know what an LB base is. Lubricated base? I don't know. But it was just, yes. a white cream, now it's on my hand, that I had to apply twice a day. And the thing with PUPPPs, I'm just gonna call it that, it doesn't typically go away like until after you give birth. Like you can't really do much to get rid of it. It's just you either have it, I think it's like 1 in 10 or 1 in 8 women have it, or you don't. And then it just goes away on its own shortly after you give birth. So I started applying it, and then it got less itchy. My stomach was still like a little reddish, and I don't know, maybe it isn't. Okay, well, it does. As I'm like, oh, it's all gone. Okay, it does look like a little rash, but it's not as bad anymore. It's clearly not as bad. And it doesn't itch at all. So then I was like, well, maybe, even though I didn't use any new laundry detergent, I wore a tank top to sleep that I hadn't worn like in a couple weeks. I'm like, maybe at that point I washed that in something different and I was allergic to that. I don't know. Because I'm like, it was on my stomach and my back, but then not my chest. So I was just hoping that it wasn't that, just because for the first couple of days it was really itchy. But now I'm not itchy at all. So I stopped using the cream. So I hope that's okay. But when I went to my doctor, I had a locum doctor, and I mentioned that, oh, my stomach's all better. And she said, oh, good. So yeah, so that was another thing that happened in health-wise. I still do not have any cravings. I thought I might have had one. I was walking the dogs, and someone just pulled up to their house, and a group of girls got out with 4 Tim Hortons iced cappuccinos that they were bringing to the rest of the people in their house, I guess. And I was like, ooh, those look good. And this was when I was past my like self-quarantine, but still I'm like, I'm not gonna go out just to get a Tim Hortons drink. So then I Googled how to make one myself, and I made it, and also so I could use decaf. It was good. But then I made it again the next day, because I was like, oh, it's a good when it's really hot. It's like an iced coffee drink. So I don't know if that's necessarily a craving. I did order Oreos on Amazon when I wanted Oreos, and everything else in that order, because I also ordered some like nipple shields and cream, and I heard one other thing. I forget. Something else. At the same time, those all came, but my Oreos, which I thought were going to come today, because it said Thursday, no, they're coming next Thursday. So it's taking 2.5 weeks to get my Oreos. Dana's like, I can go get you some. I'm like, no, I don't actually need Oreos. I was just ordering everything else, and I saw Oreos, and they were $1.88. So I was like, oh, I'll add them to my order. But now I'm kind of disappointed that I don't have my Oreos. But I think just because I thought they were coming today, and they're not. So for purchasing, we bought a lot of stuff, a lot of our big ticket items, but they just haven't arrived yet. So we chose the car seat that we're getting, I got, it's just not here. It's stuck in Stony Creek, Ontario for the past week. It was supposed to be delivered May 5th, and it's still in Stony Creek. And yeah, I bought it April 24th, I think. Which I understand, but I'm like, it said like expected delivery May 5th, and then it's like still halfway across the country. Great. But again, as long as I don't go into labor in the next couple weeks, that's okay. I can still wait for the car seat. But we decided on I don't know if you say it, I would say it Chico, but it could, I've heard people call it Kiko, but the Chico KeyFit 30. And then Dan bought an extra base for it for his car. He bought his on Amazon. So that came in like 3 days. So now we have the base, but no car seat yet, but that's all right. And then I wanted to order the Hemnes IKEA dresser, because it's deep enough to put on or put our change table on, or like our changing mat, because I didn't want to buy a separate changing table, because then, you know, when they're older, you don't need it anymore. So I wanted to just get a nice dresser that's deep enough that I could put the change table on it. And I got the Hop, Skip and Play change table. It's like a foam, so not really a foam, microfoam, is that a thing? I don't know, but it's just so you don't really have to, there's no cover that then you have to take off and wash, you just wipe it clean. So that arrived. Where did I order that from? Oh, Bye Bye Baby, which is Bed Bath & Beyond, and that came in like 3 days, so that was very impressive. And so then I wanted to order the IKEA dresser, but it was a good price, and I have, like, in my bedroom growing up, and even here from what then I brought to my house, I have IKEA furniture, and it's lasted for a very long time. And I know it's IKEA furniture, it's pressed wood, but again, all of mine has lasted a really long time. And I really like the look of it. It was gonna be the 8 drawer, so it had like 6 big drawers, no, 4 big drawers and then 4 little drawers at the top, which I really like the look of that too. However, where I am, there's no IKEA anywhere near me, and so it was gonna be $169 to ship it to my city, which is, the time I was gonna buy it, usually the dresser was like $299, but it was on sale for $249. I'm like, I'm not gonna pay almost like double the amount just to have it shipped. And you can't go pick it up, and even if I did, I'd have to take the ferry over, which putting myself at risk, as well as it's expensive too to take. So I know why it's expensive, because the delivery truck has to take the ferry to the island, because I live on a little island. Not little, but you know, an island, Vancouver Island. But it was just too expensive. Like, we could not justify paying that much for shipping. So then we already decided we were getting our crib from Best Buy, who offers free shipping. So then we decided, we looked at all of their dressers and we found one that we liked. Dan liked it a little more than I liked it, but I still like it. There was another one that he liked more, but it was like super asymmetrical and it bugged me. So we didn't get that one. So we got and I'll show a little video of it. And yeah, I like it too. So we think that will go on this side and then the crib will go on that side. I think I mentioned that last time. So we're going with this dresser, adding it to cart. And then this crib. So this one's white, the other one's like a off-white, but that's okay. Yay. Yeah, so we like that. And then I got a big bassinet. I got a second-hand one, but it's in really good condition. And then I left it in the garage for about a week, just not touching it. And then I wiped everything down, then didn't touch it. And then I'm also, everything that can be washed, I threw in the washing machine. It is the Halo bassinet, the one that does have like the features of vibrating and sound and light, like that. So we got that. I also got a little tub, a bath, like a little plastic bathtub, and then a lot of clothes so far. So far I've been doing like secondhand clothes, and then I am going to look for like some key things that I really either haven't gotten yet, or then that I want. Like, we want to decide on what outfit we want to bring him home in, so like a onesie or like a sleeper. So we're going to buy that specifically. But yeah, I've purchased a lot from kind of Facebook Marketplace, and then we also have like a local baby group. And again, everything, the bag that I picked up would sit in the garage for a couple days and then pop all the clothes right into the laundry machine and then fold it. So there's a huge pile of stuff that I have, and so yeah, so that's really good. Still lots of things to buy. And then looking at my checklist, remember last time I had like 3 things checked off only? Look at it now. Look at all these checks. Plus I've added some extra things in, talking to my sister, as well as watching like other YouTubers baby must-have or newborn must-have. So like I added a white noise machine. And then also my sister just like get size 1 diapers as well, not only newborn, just because you don't know how quickly he's gonna grow out of them. And then instead of just like the swaddle blankets, also it's somewhat handier if you get like a swaddle sleep sack. So I have one of those. I want to get another one in the next size up as well, just in case, as well as some sleep sacks. But overall, we're pretty good. Like, yeah, I just have to get bottles too, which is what I should. So we still need to get diapers. That will be a necessity as well. But again, I'm trying to ease my, I wouldn't say I have anxiety, but just in case, you know, pharmacies are still open. If I happen to be giving birth in the hospital, and the baby may stay at the hospital if I give birth now, because it's super early still. But you know, there's still time to go to the pharmacy and get diapers. So those kind of little things. But what I really want to do, we're working on the downstairs. We've painted, Dan has painted. We have chosen, okay, we're between 3 floorings that we like, because we're gonna rip the carpet up. So we're just getting prices on how much that's gonna be. And then really, I just wanna get everything from here downstairs, so then we can start setting this up. I really want to, I mean, painting, I guess, well, painting has to happen too, but once we can get all of this stuff out, I want to set up like the dresser so that I can start putting the clothes in the dresser, and again, just seeing what I still need, what I don't need. I mean, I can do that. I can just take everything out of the bag and see what I have. And I kind of tried to take inventory after I washed and folded, but I don't know, I want to put things in bins, so it's like this. So I want to get started on that just to help myself be more organized. But I guess what would help is if I like start taking off, like moving all this stuff. So I think, I mean, if we have 8 weeks, that works, but you never know. We still haven't gotten much further with a name. We've narrowed it, I don't know, we kind of narrowed it down, but we still don't know. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'll share that right away because we don't know yet either. We may, like I mentioned last time, choose like 3 and then make our final decision when we see him, if that works. But I want to definitely have like 3 in mind. Alright, so I will show you my belly. I have gained, I've almost gained 30 pounds. I'm at like 28 pounds, which when I was sick, when I had my fever, I kind of stayed at the same kind of weight for a couple weeks then after as well. And then this past week I've gained like 4 pounds, which is really a lot. But I don't know. I think it's just making up for when I didn't. So, belly time. So, from the front, okay, no, I was gonna say, the front I don't look that pregnant, but no, clearly I do. But then we got from the side, and right now, I mean, I don't have a pregnancy top, although I did order one, but I don't really like it. So it cuts off here, but there we go. My bump, big bump. And it's, I mean, these pants, because it's like the high-waisted pants, it makes it look nice and smooth. It's still, like, it's a nice perfect bump here, and then it just kind of goes flat, and then it goes down. But that's alright. So yes, that is my belly now, and there we go. Whew. Look at that belly. Oh dear. And I definitely have noticed that I'm more tired. And it's a different tired than when I had my low iron and I was like about to pass out tired. Here it's just, I'm just tired. I guess I don't walk the dogs as long as I used to. Before I was doing, when I was feeling better, then it was like half an hour walks. Now it's like 10-15 minutes. And I notice, which I mean, I shouldn't feel bad about, but it's just, I go outside with the dogs, there's like maybe 6 stairs, so I go out downstairs with them, and then I come back up the stairs, and already that, I'm like, oh, I'm tired, I need a break. So that's just trickier, but I mean, I'm expecting that, I'm expecting to slow down even more. Dan's been really great. He's been helping and doing everything he can. He's always loved me. I don't know if he loves it, but he's always been making dinner. So he's still doing that, and he's like, you know, don't push yourself too much. And yeah, just take it easy. But I want to do things. So I just have to get into my mind frame not to push myself too much. So this upcoming week, we are excited to, actually, our Best Buy orders, the crib as well as the dresser should arrive, one today, one tomorrow. So that's exciting. And I'm hoping that the car seat comes soon, because that's something we need, or we will need right away. And yeah, then just lots of little smaller shopping item. We're looking at getting like a swing. Again, I want to get one secondhand because the one I'm looking at, it's like the Fisher Price Puppa something, one of the dog things, or they also have like a bunny version, a monkey version, but one of those ones, they're like $199 new, and a lot of people are selling them for about $60. So, and I think I asked my sister, I'm like, how long do they stay in it? And she said her son enjoyed being in it for about the first 6 months, and then he got bored, you know, he didn't want to just be swinging, he wanted to do stuff. So I was like, yeah, I'm happy with paying $60, maybe $75, but I was like, I don't want to pay $199 plus tax. So yeah, hoping to get that used, and then I figure it's just something good that it will keep, you know, if we're cooking dinner or if just doing something that we have our eye on him, but we don't have to be always holding him. So I think it would be a good investment, but again, if I can get it for $60, $70 for a good condition one, why not? So yeah, I will do my next update probably in 2 weeks, unless something like major happens in the next week that I have to share with you guys. Hopefully not. Hopefully my doctor's appointment will go well, and no other new things happening. But yeah, so that is my long video on everything that's been happening for the past 3 weeks. Also, if I do more often videos, they won't be this long. They'll hopefully be like under 10 minutes, maybe under 8 minutes, instead of like what is going to be like a 30-minute video. Sorry. So thanks for watching, everyone. But I honestly do enjoy watching other people's. Hopefully you still just found it interesting, my chatting and what's going on in my life, my update. So thank you so much for watching today, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.